Hi, good evening everyone. So first of all, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the organizers for giving me this opportunity. And I would like to thank all the esteemed panelists sitting over here and the lovely audience who's here to listen to me. So I would not like to take much time. So when I was talking to the organizers, so they gave me a specific time of 6 minutes and they told that you have to complete your presentation in 6 minutes. So I was just thinking, because we as OLAM are operating out of 74 countries. We have a farmer base of close to 2.3 million farmers, and we have one of the world's largest agri-asset base in the world. So I was just thinking which project I should present it over here. So I would just like to show you 3 initiatives which OLAM has taken in different geographies, which are very close to my heart. But before that, just want to give you one very basic thing, that why are we talking about the sustainable agriculture or the climate smart agriculture, or we are talking in OLAM, we say that it's a reimagined agriculture. So why are we talking about all this today? So we know that by 2050, the global population is going to cross 10 billion mark. And to feed that population, we need to double the food grain production. But the way we are doing agriculture today, we are completely depleting the resource, whether it is the soil or water. Or in fact, we are polluting the environment. So in a way, the agriculture production is going down. So agriculture is definitely a sufferer because of the climate change and because of global warming. And just to substantiate that with some of the facts here, so 70% of the world's fresh water is consumed in agriculture. So we can clearly see that how we are consuming the water, and that's how the water tables are depleting. And we can clearly see that in countries like India, Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, who are the major, if one of the biggest commodity in the world is rice. So these are basically, that's where the water tables are going down. And then because of this global warming, with every 1 degree increase in the global temperature, so the yields of most of the crops, it comes down by 5 to 10%. And then because of the climate changes and global warming, we are seeing that every year in one or the other geographies, either the floods are coming or the droughts are happening. And because of that, there is a lot of insect pest attack, the fungal attack is there, and the bacterial attack is there, and ultimately it is leading to the decline in agriculture production. So in one way, we have to increase the production, but because of this all climate change, the production is going down. But on the contrary to it, agriculture itself is a contributor to climate change. So would just like to give you one example. So what happens is that in case of rice, we do a normal traditional way of growing paddy, whereby we do a flooding of the field throughout the season and then grow the paddy. And what happens then when the whole field is flooded and you put the chemicals, fertilizers or pesticides into it, so because of those anaerobic conditions, it releases methane gas, and methane gas is one of the biggest contributor of global warming. So in one way, agriculture is contributing to global warming, and in a way it's suffered because of that global warming also. So definitely there is a need to now restart or rethink or redoing or reimagining the way we are doing agriculture today. So keeping this as a base, I would just like to quote 3 examples in brief, considering the interest of time. So one is, of course, in case of rice, as we have been talking about rice. So 3 basic things. One is on the laser land labeling. If we do that, we can reduce the emissions by close to 1%. Better inputs, when I say better inputs, so better input means the type of pesticides, chemicals or fertilizers which we are using, the time of using those chemicals and fertilizers, and the dosage of using these chemicals and fertilizers. So that can reduce the emission of methane gas and other gases by 10%. And third, alternate wet and drying method. So there is no need to do the rice farming by flooding the fields throughout the year. By doing alternate wet and drying methods, you can reduce the emissions by close to 30%. And in addition, normally what happens that in case of paddy fields, farmer leaves the straw within the field itself. And either they burn the field, which we are seeing, and which is a major cause of one of the pollution in case of NCR. So we are seeing that they either burn the field or leaves the straw in the field as it is, and that is also leading to a lot of gases emission in the particular field. So it's very important that those straws or the wastage which are left in the fields, that has to be removed. So OLAM in different geographies, including Thailand, so they in tie-up with United Nations and International Rice Research Institute, they have developed an SRP platform which is called as a Sustainable Rice Platform. So wherein 41 indicators are there and 12 platforms are there, and we have to abide by all those 41 indicators and 12 platforms, which includes soil condition, the health condition, the crop point of it, the water aspect of it, the yield aspect. So covering all the aspect of doing a farming practice is involved into that. And OLAM has started that project in Thailand, wherein today we are having close to 5,000 farmers who are doing or who are a part of this SRP program. In Vietnam, we have just started that program. In India, we have recently launched that in Bulandshahr part of it, and we have some of the partners with us, which includes IFC, which includes Western Sydney University of Australia, Bayer, Syngenta. So these are some of the companies which are partnered with us in that particular project. So that's how we have tried and defined it, and of course it is backed by the technology. So we have developed an app called AgriCenter Lab, wherein close to 4 lakh farmers are registered right now, and those farmers are given the real-time information. So they are a part of it, and through that app they have been provided the right kind of information about the climatic conditions, which includes temperature, moisture, rainfall condition of that. And in addition to that, they have been given a different news about it, the marketing aspect about it, and of course what's happening around that, and that's how they are directly linked with the market aspect of it. So that's one project. Moving on to the next part. So OLAM in IBC. So Africa, within Africa, there are 2 countries. So globally, the cocoa production is close to 4 billion metric ton. Out of that, 70% gets produced within Ghana and IBC. And OLAM has now started working with the farmers directly at the farm gate level in IBC, and we have a total farmer base of close to 1 lakh farmers, wherein we have tried and developed a complete sustainable and traceable supply chain. So we are working very, very closely with the farmers over there. We are providing training to them in terms of adopting the right kind of package and practices over there. We have developed an in-house platform over there, which is called as OLAM Farmer Information System, which we call as OFIS. So that does the geotagging of the farm, which my colleague was also mentioning about crop in. So that is our in-house platform which we have developed, and it gives the real-time information about the crop health, the crop condition to the buyer. So what happens is that whatever we are producing in IBC today and bringing that cocoa to Singapore, wherein we are converting that into cocoa butter or cocoa powder, finally bringing it to India and selling it to some of the esteemed customers like Mondelez and others, and thereby maintaining the complete traceability in that supply chain. Then the third example which I would like to quote over here is in case of cotton. So in case of cotton, we have again developed a complete supply chain. In fact, I would say that we have developed a complete ecosystem in case of cotton. So on one side, we are working very closely with the farmers in terms of improving their yields, in terms of reducing their cost of inputs, in terms of developing the right kind of skill set and capacity in the farmers. On the other side, we are developing a complete community base over there, whether it is providing the right kind of education by developing schools over there, or hospitals, or developing the infrastructure over there, and then linkaging that or doing the market linkages and connecting them with the right kind of customers so that farmers can get their produce for that. So that's in a nutshell, which I can say that we are talking about the climate smart agriculture or the sustainable value chain. So this is the way OLAM has set up certain examples to develop the sustainable and traceable supply chain. So just like to sum up that today, in fact, the millennial generation, so they are very particular about their food habits. So, and when it comes to food safety, when it comes to food hygiene part of it, so they are very particular and they are ready to take any price of it. So the only thing is that we need to develop whatever we are doing, which should be in line with the customer's requirement. And if those kind of market linkages are there, then definitely the whole supply chain can be sustainable and traceable. And we as OLAM, we feel that there are 4 pillars of sustainable supply chain. The one, of course, the key pillar is the farmer, by developing the right kind of capacity building and the skill set in farmer. It has to be backed by the right kind of technology. And third aspect is about developing or bringing in the right institutions, which are basically the government bodies, the NGO body, and finally the market linkages of that supply chain. So if those 4 key pillars are in place, absolutely the supply chain can be sustainable and traceable, and which can feed the 10 billion population which is going to be touched by 2050. Thank you so much.